Hello everyone, welcome to session number 30, and the topic of our discussion is the play A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. So what I will be doing in this session is to explain various themes and symbols which can be identified in the play A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. So before we proceed further, let us recall what are the things we learnt in the last session, that is session number 29, in which I explained or I gave you a brief introduction about the play, and also I introduced you to the major characters in the play. So this play was written and published in the year 1947, and in the same year it was performed by group of artists of Broadway theater in the city of New York, and it brought so much of fame for Tennessee Williams, and subsequently he went on to win the prestigious Pulitzer Prize for this work in the year 1951. So I have also explained that this play carries autobiographical elements in the sense the disturbed childhood and his familial problems, Tennessee Williams, which he faced in his personal life, they had a very great impact on his literary creativity. So in this work also one can analyze the autobiographical elements. Okay, so this is one thing, and in the last session we also looked into the major characters which appear in the play. The first one is Blanche Dubois. The French pronunciation is Blanche Dubois, the protagonist, the central character of the play. She comes to New Orleans, a city in the state of Louisiana in the southern part of United States, with desire, with the dreams of better future. She wanted to come out of her past experiences and looking for something new to happen in her life. So she visits New Orleans, where she goes to a place by taking a streetcar named Desire to her sister's place, that is Stella's place, and she was very much shocked to see a ghetto kind of atmosphere, because Stella is married to Stanley, a man who belongs to working class, who lacks sophistication and all of the things related with elite society. So this is Blanche Du Bois, and she represents the aspect of desire in the play. Then we have Stella, her younger sister, who is married to Stanley. And she represents a totally different attitude towards life when compared to Blanche. Blanche wants to take Stella along with her to Bella Rive, their past estate actually, but Stella is reluctant to go with her, and she says that she has made things clear in her life that she wants to stay with Stanley. And then comes the antagonist, the other important character, Stanley Kowalski, who represents that robust masculinity of working class section of the society, and he is totally contrasting when compared to the character of Blanche and Stella, these two who belong to the upper section, the elite section of the society. And then we looked into other characters such as Mitch, okay, then Eunice and Steve, then a Negro woman, okay, and a young boy who comes to collect the bills for subscriptions. So all these are the characters which appear in the play the streetcar named Desire by Tennessee Williams. So these are the things we learnt in the last session. So let us proceed with this session number 30, where our topic is to look into the themes and symbols in the play Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. This is this is the objective of this particular session, and at the end of the session students will be able to enhance their literary perspective of the play by analyzing various themes and symbols in the play. So it will definitely help the students or the readers to come up with different perspectives. And before I proceed further, let me make it clear that the themes and symbols which I discuss now, which I'm going to discuss now, are not only the themes and symbols which you can find in the play. When you read, you may come up with your own understanding, and you may be able to find some more thematic issues and symbols which represent a particular idea. So please develop your own ideas when you read the play. Okay, so let me go one by one. Themes and symbols are a very significant part of any literary work. So, a theme or a motif is a distinctive feature or a repeating idea in an artistic or literary composition. So, when we talk of a theme, okay, in any literary work, it means that we are talking about a distinctive or unique feature of that particular literary work, which makes it different from other literary works. So, what are those themes in Streetcar Named Desire? And also we look into symbols. So what is a symbol? A symbol is an object representing or used for something else, or you can also say that it is a sign. Okay, in terms of Ferdinand de Saussure, symbol can be defined as a sign or a symbol of or a system of sign which represents something deeper and more important. Okay, so a symbol can be treated as a signifier which has got its own signified meaning, or you can say signified meanings, many signifiers. Okay, so in that way you can analyze a symbol, or a symbol may be something material which represents something immaterial. To put it in other words, a symbol can be an abstract a concrete reality which represents an abstract idea. So in which you can understand themes and symbols in a particular literary work. So our focus is to look into themes which appear in the play Streetcar Named Desire. So the first theme is the theme of sexual desire. Okay, so how to understand this theme? So let me explain. The power of sexual desire is the engine propelling a Streetcar Named Desire. This is a very strong and actually very correct statement to understand the theme of sexual desire. So the entire play, what you see, the urge of sexual desire which exist in the minds and hearts of several characters in different situations, it propels their actions. So like engine which propels a streetcar, similarly here the sexual desire is something which propels human actions in the play. As you can see, much of Blanche's conception of how she operates in the outside world, in the society, it depends on her perception of herself and understanding that she is an object of sexual desire. It is her experiences, encounters in the past has made her to realize that she is seen as an object of sexual desire, and sometimes it is this sexuality which would perhaps help her to achieve or to get what she wants in her life. Okay, and the other character, Stella, Blanche's sister, who is married to Stanley, and in spite of the fact that Stanley is not from an upper class, from an elite class of the society, but still she is like very much attached to him, and even she her desire for Stanley pulls her away from Bella Rive, the estate, and her past. So Stella is drawn to Stanley's brute animal sexuality. This is something which makes her to stand with Stanley. And even at the end part of the play, what you see, even when she comes to know that her husband Stanley has raped her sister Blanche, she refuses to accept it, but she still stays with Stanley. So throughout the play, sexual desire is linked to a destructive force even in loving relationships. So sexual desire and violence, they both are combined or yoked together. So this is what you see in the penultimate scene, the scene number 10 of the play, when Stanley rapes Blanche. It is the sexual desire which is combined with the powerful patriarchal mindset of Stanley, which results in this action. So the next theme of our discussion is the theme of fantasy and delusion. If you remember, when I spoke about Tennessee Williams in the introductory session, I spoke about the literary style of his writing, where I made a point that his style of writing is realistic. Okay. But here see the theme of fantasy and delusion, which is opposite of realism, it appears here, but in a different way. Let us try to understand. So fantasy and delusion, they are very significant parts of this play. In scene 1, what happens that Blanche, she takes a streetcar named Desire, and through which travels through the cemeteries to reach Elysian Fields, where Stella and Stanley live. Okay, and she comes there with a desire that she would have a better place to live, for where she can forget her past. And when she comes, the things are totally contrary to her expectations. So what kind of life she starts leading? Yes, again, realism is very much explained by Tennessee Williams. That is how he has approached. But the character of Blanche is not ready to accept the harsh realities of life. She doesn't want realism, so she wants magic, or you can say her desire to escape from the reality causes her no longer distinguish between what is fantasy and what is real life. So what you can see throughout the play, that Blanche only appears in semi-darkness and shadows, and she deliberately keeps herself out of the harsh reality. It is a deliberate act, because she doesn't want to come to the light where she has to face the harsh reality. So when we read the play scene by scene, you will understand it more. And when Stanley tells Stella the sordid details of Blanche's past, and Blanche at that time, she is off stage and she is bathing, and she is singing the song Paper Moon, which is a song about a make-believe world, a world which is full of fantastical elements. Okay, so this is the theme of fantasy and delusion which appears in the play A Streetcar Named Desire. Then another important theme, that is the appearance of interior and exterior. Okay, here you have to understand the stage adaptation of the play. Okay, so if you watch the play being performed, you will be able to understand this theme very much clearly. Or you can also watch the movie, which is made on this play. Okay, so what you see in every scene and in every shot, the audience, what they see is that both the inside of Kowalski's apartment as well as the street outside, which emphasizes the tense relationship between what is going on outside and what is inside. Okay, so the scene is projected in such a way to the audience that they are able to see both inside of what is happening inside Kowalski's apartment, and also what is happening outside. So what is the intention of the writer? That it demonstrates a complicated relationship between what goes on in the mind of a person versus what occurs in real life. Okay, so this is very much thematic and symbolic in a way. The outside world and the inside world is symbolic or thematic in terms of what is happening outside and what is running in the mind of a particular person. So this theme occurs in various stages of the play, in different characters of the play. The next one is the theme of femininity and dependence. So what you see that the female characters appear to be very much dependent on the male companionship in the play. It happens with both Blanche and also Stella. But their femininity is different, okay, though they both represent the feminine aspect, that their femininity is different in the play. Whereas Stella's femininity is based on the reality, where she accepts the reality, whereas Blanche's femininity based on illusions and tricks, which I have already explained. But what one must also understand that this play is set in New Orleans, okay, and New Orleans is a city in the state of Louisiana, which is located in the deep south of America, United States, okay, southern parts of United States, where you see very harsh presence of racism, okay, where people being ill-treated on the basis of their race and color, and the southern part of United States had seen worst situations of racism. So why I am highlighting this? Because the very patriarchal mindset, it was another result of the extreme presence of racism in the southern part of America. So what you observe here, that it is a deliberate act of Tennessee Williams to highlight the femininity and dependence, where the female characters are very much absorbed into the patriarchal norms of the society, okay. So this is one more important theme in the play. So now look into the symbols. As I've already explained, a symbol is a sign which carries a signifier and signified, or it can be a material thing which represents an immaterial idea. So what are these symbols you see in the play? The first one is the streetcar itself, okay. So Williams called the streetcar the ideal metaphor for the human condition, okay. So allegorically, streetcar represents human condition in the modern world, and the title refers not only to the real streetcar line in New Orleans, but it also symbolically represents the power of desire as the driving force behind the character's actions, okay. So streetcar is symbolic of human mind, as like this streetcar in New Orleans runs through the Desire Street. The human mind is also full of desire. It is this desire propels human actions, and it is very much evident throughout the play. Then we have a symbol of a musical instrument called as polka, okay. Make some work and try to know more about polka. It's a musical instrument. It is very significant to understand the character of Blanche in the play, because Blanche associates the polka, the music of polka, with her young husband's suicide, okay. While introducing you to the character of Blanche, I have already explained that she got married at a very young age, and later when her husband turns out, she finds that her husband is homosexual, and then her husband commits suicide. What happened at that particular incident was Blanche and her husband, they were dancing for the polka music when she lashed out at him for his homosexual behavior, and it results in her husband leaving the dance floor and shooting himself and killing himself. So what happens throughout the play, that the music, polka's music, which plays when Blanche is reminded of her husband and when she is disturbed by the past. So whenever she recalls her past, you see in the background the music of polka is being played. So polka is symbolic of her past, and also it brings back the memories of her dead husband. So this is how you can understand the symbol of polka, okay. Then another symbol is that of bathing. What you see throughout the play, that Blanche, who appears to be very delusional, living in her world of fantasy, she keeps on taking frequent baths to soothe her nerves. So for her, bathing is an escape from not just from the sweaty apartment of Stanley, but it is a constant watching of reminiscent of her past, where now you can compare the character of Blanche with that of Lady Macbeth in William Shakespeare's play Macbeth, where Lady Macbeth, to wash away the sins she has committed, she keeps on washing her hands. Similarly, she also Blanche, she tries to wash away her past by constantly bathing. And then we have a symbol of paper lantern. The paper lantern over the light bulb represent Blanche's attempt to mask both her sordid past and also her present physical appearance. So what happens in the play, when you watch the play, you see whenever Blanche appears on the stage inside the apartment, you observe one thing, that she never comes to the broad light. She appears herself under the paper lantern which has covered the light bulb. So what is her intention? Symbolically, she is trying to hide her sordid past, very disturbing past, and also she wants to hide her present physical appearance. Okay, she still feels that she is young, but she is growing older, but she is not ready to accept that reality. So she does not come or appear herself in the broad light throughout the place. So the lantern diffuses the stark light, paper lantern, but it's only a temporary solution that can be ripped off at any moment. Okay, so the next symbol is that of alcohol and drunkenness. Okay, so in the play, what you see, both Blanche and Stanley, they both are frequently or they are addicted to alcohol. They frequently drink throughout the play. But their intention is different. When Stanley drinks, his masculinity becomes exaggerated, and he grows violent, and he becomes very physical and brutal, something which is very much evident in the scene number 10 when he rapes her, rapes Blanche. And Blanche, on the other side, she drinks so that she can hide her past, and it is like an escape mechanism. Maybe she has this hedonistic approach towards life. You can say that she wants to forget the harsh realities by indulging in activities which brings pleasure, and maybe you can call her hedonistic in this way. So alcohol is also symbolic in the play. And the last one is the frequent appearance of shadows. This is stage adaptation, you must know that shadows which are which appear on the stage, they represent the dream world and escape from the light of the day. So the major events in the play are represented or they are shown to the audience in the form of shadows. For example, when Stanley approaches Blanche to rape her, it is shadows which overtake on the stage, on the wall, before the before he physically rapes Blanche. And on the other hand, in the final scene of the play, when the doctor and the matron, they come to take Blanche away to the asylum, it is also beautifully constructed on the stage with the use of shadows which contribute to the jungle like mad chaos atmosphere on the stage when Blanche is taken to the asylum. So these are some of the significant themes and symbols which can be analyzed in the play A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. As I have already said, you can add up your own observation, and you can come up with your own thematic concerns and symbolic representations in the play. Okay, I hope it is useful. Please read the original play before you proceed to the next sessions. Thank you.